What can I do with a dead body? I'm John Deere for BlaBla, and on today's episode we'll look at things you can do with dead bodies and things you cannot do. The lines are not always clear and may sometimes surprise you. For example, in 2011 in Phoenix, Arizona, a man listed for sale on eBay a human skull. It was the skull of a 12-year-old child. He'd found it for $1 at a garage sale and was listing it for sale for $300. When police learned of the listing, they swooped in and seized the skull. However, they did not arrest or charge the seller. In the words of Police Sergeant Trent Crump, it's not illegal to sell a skull unless you killed someone to get it. The police were investigating whether the cause of death of the 12-year-old child was a crime. In the United States, only a few states prohibit the sale of human remains, and federal law protects only Native American remains. In other words, in most of the United States, it's completely legal to sell human remains. And it's big business. Websites like The Bone Room, Skulls Unlimited, and others sell human remains every day. Here's a finger for $12 and a foot for $325. But that's not the end of the story. As in the Phoenix case, there's always a question about where the remains came from. While it may not be illegal to sell human remains, it is illegal to rob a grave and steal human remains. It's called abuse of corpse. Abuse of corpse means intentionally treating a corpse in a way that would outrage ordinary family sensibilities. It covers a wide variety of conduct. For example, in 2002, the owner of a crematorium in Georgia was arrested and charged with this crime among hundreds of others after more than 300 corpses were reportedly discovered scattered around his property and in the nearby woods. Instead of performing the cremations he'd been paid to do, he just dumped the bodies in the woods and gave fake ashes to the families. Abuse of corpse also covers more deviant and disturbing conduct, such as necrophilia and attempts to steal corpses for that purpose. Until recently, there were no specific laws prohibiting necrophilia in most states. Law enforcement were forced to try to apply laws such as theft of property and even failed attempts to apply sexual assault. However, now abuse of corpse covers all of this conduct. Abuse of corpse does not cover accidental conduct. For example, if a funeral director spills a corpse out of the back of the hearse in front of the horrified family, that is not a crime. However, it's a civil wrong and you can sue over it. It's called negligent mishandling of a corpse. These are all laws that restrict what you can do with a dead body, but here's something you can do with a dead body. You can sell the tissues and organs. Before a corpse became a corpse, it was a living human, and that living human had the right, at least in the United States, to determine the disposition of his or her corpse. Humans are often encouraged to donate their organs and tissues, and if they do, those organs and tissues become part of the organ and tissue market. Human skin is a hot commodity. It is cleaned, sterilized, and sold for medical uses. More controversial are claims of using human skin as human leather to create belts, purses, and other accessories. Here's a company in Great Britain that claims to sell exclusive products made from human leather. The company claims all the skin is donated, that the deceased beneficiaries are paid well for it, and that creating goods out of human leather is legal. Many people believe the creepy website is a hoax. Here's something else you can do with a dead body. You can bury it at home. According to a New York Times article, as funeral costs have increased, home funerals have soared. Families conduct the funeral in their own home, place the body in a homemade pine casket, and bury it on their own private property. Some jurisdictions, mainly cities, limit or restrict this practice, but in rural locales, it's mostly legal. Check your jurisdiction before you start digging a hole. And those are things you can do with a body and things you cannot do with a dead body. If you like this episode, please share it. All you have to do is go to the share button at the bottom of this video and share it on your favorite social network. Also, be sure to check out and like our Facebook page and mostly subscribe to this YouTube channel. I'm your host, John Deere. We'll see you next week. Thanks for watching.